Welcome back to the Arm Wrestling Forums newsletter for September 5th, 2022. If you're unfamiliar, I moderate the subreddit and a few other groups, and throughout the week I save interesting posts or happenings, and then every Monday I compile them and ship them out in a free newsletter, which you can join at armwrestlingforums.com. Just toss your email into this field here, hit join, and you're in. But now we're going to do a video kind of overview of what was sent out in yesterday's newsletter. So let's get into it. And we always start with a featured match. This week it was the 2017 match between Krause and Sasho. And it was a war, as you might expect. So we'll just watch a little bit of it here, not the whole thing. Spoiler alert, it's 1 minute and 24 seconds. And Krause actually gets the hit off the start, caught by Sasho, and then Sasho just goes on the offensive, staying super tight, getting Krause on his bicep, and not even an inch, a centimeter from the pad, but Krause's no stranger to that position and can sit there for a really long time. So this is just a classic inside battle, and if you like hooking, you got to watch this. I'll toss the link down in the description. I mean, we're talking millimeters at this point. Unbelievable match. All right, on to the next thing. We have Jerry made CBS News, CBS News Boston, and they did a whole video.
By
spot
day,
on
he manages a local business, but by night, he is training to compete against the world's best arm
and he does
wrestlers.
great. He's so likable.
Me too.
They really get in depth. They talk to his employees.
The reason why
there he is at work.
Workouts and practice. He's
Camping
the general
World, I
manager
believe.
of Camping World in Berkeley.
Yeah, so it's a really in-depth
One of my
piece. They talk about his
employees
career, his kids, his arm wrestling, everything. So, arm wrestling has so many stories to tell that I hope people realize that it's something great to cover, and we see more like this. But yeah, check that out. And next we have new Dennis photos. This is on the Reddit page. Thank you, user VoteNay507 for the submission. And check it out. We got Dennis. He's looking good. Again, not compared to peak 2018 Dennis, but he's definitely on the up and up. And it's important to remember, if you took this arm and put it on any normal person, it would be freaky big. We're just so used to Dennis and what he used to be that it doesn't look as impressive. But I mean, that is a big ass arm, and just overall he looks good. Perhaps most importantly, he's smiling. So we have a happy Dennis. He's back on the grind. I think he's been saying that he wants to get back on the table more seriously, which we'd love to see. I doubt we'll see the same level that we saw in 2018, but that's all right. Just want to see the man pull. Next up, we have a new East vs. West 5 match. And if you're subscribed to the newsletter, you would have saw last time Engen made a post saying it was the 100% confirmed final East vs. West card. Well, surprise, surprise, it was not. And we have Oleg Patranco versus Zurub Taveriza, a left arm match, 105 kilogram category, East vs. West 5, November 19th, Istanbul, Turkey. I mean, the card's already so huge. It's insane to me that Engen looks at this card with like 13 just star-studded super matches and says, that won't do. We need to add another one in there. And he does it. He does it. So just keeping you guys informed of what to expect. I doubt one more super match is going to make the difference of whether you buy the card or not. I think last time I started it at like 1 p.m. and it didn't finish until 5:30 or something. So, but that's East versus West. That's what you get. Engen just can't help himself. So there you go. New match coming up. Should be a good one. Next on the card, we have East vs. West tournament qualifiers. I was actually watching Engen's live a few days ago, and I believe it was with Josh Grant and Herman Stevens. And he was talking about they all were talking about doing a tournament that would qualify you for getting on the East vs. West 5 card, or not just the 5 card, on any East vs. West card. And I think it's brilliant. WAL also suffered from this problem of being very opaque with how you get a super match. It was kind of either just be really famous or be just so good that you get noticed, which is fine, I suppose. But it'd be nice to have a ladder to actually get there and know that you're going to get there if you do X, Y, or Z. In this case, winning a qualifier. Now, it's not fleshed out. He says he needs to work on the details and will most likely be ready to announce in September, but it seems like he's going to do it. And I love it. Hopefully we can have multiple, so we don't, maybe one in North America, one in Europe, but we'll see. I think it's brilliant, especially because we don't really get crazy tournaments anymore like you used to. You talk to some of the OGs, and there used to be tournaments with Tim Bresnan, Michael Todd, Devin Larritt, Jerry Carteret, and John Brzenk all in the same bracket, and it's like, that's unthinkable nowadays, right? You're a tournament puller until you're good enough to only have to pull super matches. It's unfortunately the state of affairs we're in. So yeah, tournament for East vs West. I love it. Next up, we have Hutchings' next East vs West 5 match. East vs West 6. It's supposed to be 6. And it is Petro Maharint versus Todd Hutchings. And Petro is the current WAF heavyweight champion, 100 kilogram category. And he also won in 2018. So Monster can pull like a beast inside. So we might get a incredible hook war. So I think it's a good matchup. This is going to be the 105 kilogram category, so we'll see a slightly bigger Petro. And it's going to be East vs West 6, January 21st, of course, in Istanbul, Turkey. So keep an eye out for that. Next, we have a new US Elo Rating System. So if you're not familiar, if you've ever played any kind of video game with rankings, it's likely that you've taken part in an Elo rating system. And here's the website for it, and so you can kind of see what I'm talking about here. Each weight category has its own rating. Each person has their own rating within a weight category, and kind of a very macro level view of things. You have your own rating. If you beat someone who's rated higher than you, you get a bunch of points added to your rating. If you beat someone ranked under you, you don't get quite as many points added because you were the favorite. And it's the opposite if you lose, right? If you lose to someone rated higher than you, you don't lose that many points. You were the underdog. And if you lose to someone rated lower than you, you lose more points because you were the favorite. And I think I'm going to do a video going much more under the hood on this, but it's a really cool site, and I think this is really going to take off, especially because it's not just a rating system, it's an archive. You can go up here to the pullers section, type in the name of a puller. There I am. You click their name, and it's going to have a log of all the tournaments, the results, and who you beat in that bracket. Now, it's still a very new site. They only have 46 tournaments added, but they being Corey Miller and Frank Callahan. Thanks, guys. This is awesome. But yeah, they're going to be adding more and more brackets. They're working with promoters to get a system set up where basically the digital bracket automatically gets fed into this system, and they're really going for it. So support them. I think this is great. There's a ton of awesome implications from this for setting up super matches or dividing your tournament into amateurs and pros, right? You can just look at their rating. So no more saying, oh, I'm an amateur, even though I've been in the sport for 10 years and have multiple wins, right? So we can now say, hey, if you're over X rating, you are going to be pulling pros. So I love it. Really cool. We'll keep you updated on this development. Next up, we have Devin Larritt seminar, a new one. So I love Devin seminars. He's done a ton of them. He travels all over the world doing them, and there's always just brilliant nuggets of information. This one's no different. From Puller Magazine, 3-part series, and it's great. So check that out. Support Puller Magazine. They do cool stuff, and learn some things about arm wrestling. Also, if you're on armwrestlingforums.com, we have a seminars tab here, and you can choose which athlete you want to watch seminars from. The little radio buttons here. Once it's prepared, you can pick a name, and it'll populate with a bunch of the seminars that person has done. So Hutchings, Bajan, etc. You get the idea. So check that out if you want to watch some long-form arm wrestling content. Next up, we have Lavon on Kung Fu Dog. So if you read that, you're probably like, what the hell are you talking about? Well, here it is. There's apparently a movie coming out, probably in Georgia. Thanks to Arm Wrestling Uncensored Reloaded, Jason Graham, for posting this. Yeah, it looks like it's an animated movie over in Georgia where Lavon is going to be the voice actor for a ginormous cat. So I'm trying to figure out who the Kung Fu Dog is here, but Lavon's character appears to be this one here. that is a cat, right? So I don't know where the Kung Fu Dog is. You look like a cat too, or maybe it's a mistranslation up here, right? It says Georgian speaking Kung Fu Dog is waiting for you. I don't know, but it's awesome. I love that Lavon's getting into film. I think it's just going to be great for him, great for the sport. He's done a couple now, maybe even 3. I'm not sure, but this will be fun to watch, and I'll try to get some footage for you guys to watch, or even just audio to listen or something. Should be fun. All right, and that's going to do it for this week's newsletter. Again, sign up, armwrestlingforums.com homepage, and put your email in here, hit join, and you'll be shipped out the next newsletter on Monday. Thanks, everyone. Take care.